Hey, what's up, Tide? How you doing, man? What's up, Keaton? How we doing today, guys? Hey, Dark. What's going on here, Blue Stacks? What's up, Shiva? It's going well, Jason. How are you today? You guys, hopefully you're all staying safe. Hey, Mike. Friday, which probably doesn't mean as much as it did 3 weeks ago, but it's still Friday. It means the same for me. Figure I'd drop in. Oh, hey, welcome. Pretty good. Hit up some Resident Evil 3. I don't remember enjoying Resident Evil 3 the first playthrough. I remember loving Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Code Veronica for Dreamcast because I'm a crazy person. But I don't remember liking Resident Evil 3. I started Control last night. What's Control? Tell me about it. Oh, let me get in Discord too. In case Matt or somebody else wants to stop in. What is this loading stuff? I think it's me. I don't think the game is that. Dreamcast is still the best system. I remember playing. My favorite thing about the Dreamcast was when you played Sonic Adventure and you got to take your cow or your cow, whatever you want to call it, and you could put it in the save thing. Like, man, that system was like miles ahead of its time, with no security. This update has many bugs as always. Yeah, Control is an Epic Game Store. Ah, fair. Okay. It sucks. There's a lot of stores in the Epic Store, a lot of games in the Epic Store that I wanted to play on day one, and I just couldn't. What was Ancestry? Was that what was the one where you were the monkey that threw poop? That's the one I want. Remedy Entertainment title, Psychological Action, super cool. If it goes to Steam ever, I will eventually check it out. I have a personal issue. You know me, I'm overly opinionated, and there's some things I don't do. The one week he was playing, exactly. Like Borderlands 3, I don't give EA money if I can avoid it. And it's pretty easy to avoid giving someone money. You don't have to try that hard. I don't give, or like anyone that's under EA. I also don't give Epic any money. It's not really a personal thing. I just know their store is up to no good. I feel like this patch has had more mistakes than any other. Oh, I don't know. Who's keeping track? Anyway, what's the team you'll work after the Guardians? Will you take them to 5 or 6? Great question, Isco. Let's take a quick look at the team. So I'm level 57. You can obviously see now the speed in which I am hitting levels has slowed down. I am still, of course, buying all of my energy for the day. As you can see, I'm not going over it. I'm hitting a good number of my daily refreshes. I would say most of them. But as of right now, here's where we stand, right? We've unlocked quite a bit, which is good for Blitz, but not necessarily great for a lot of stuff. We did end up with both Thanos, hey, and CM, so I'm in a little bit better position than a lot of people. Control is supposed to hit Steam in August, cool. Hey, Magic. Sorry, just gotta... Epic Store is a good thing, both for consumers and game developers are trying to break the monopoly of Steam. I do hear that. I don't have an issue with competition for Steam. I think it's fine. What I do have an issue with is the less than savory practices the Epic Store seems to be engaging in. With quite a bit of selling your data going on there. But hey, Dark, how you doing? So here's what we got, right? We finally ended up with Miles. We finally ended up unlocking Mantis. Finally. And we still have been very unlucky when it comes to Gamora. This is the halfway point for me. This is 6 weeks. It takes about 90 days, which is roughly 12 weeks, in order to see a legendary pass. And then I started this free-to-play run when the Star-Lord milestone, like when he started, to give myself the longest time, right? Anything less than that it's going to be very difficult. Cool, Yuleside. I didn't know that. I'll check out more into it. I'll do some more research. I wanted to see if 90 days, if one pass was enough time to prove my theory. I obviously know if you spend money, you can pretty much make anything happen, but that's not going to help a majority of players. What I'm saying doesn't become less or more true if you're spending money. Oh, thank you, Cecil. I appreciate that. I hope you stay around. Kinda. I'll talk to you about it later. I wanted to make sure people knew that as a free-to-play player, spending absolutely no money, it is not only reasonable to expect that you can unlock Star-Lord on the first pass, but you will still, in the time, find no issues skipping the defenders. And now, yes, my roster was improved, right? I got Hela, I got CM, but so did every other person who's in my arena shard, so did every other person I'm competing with on the average day-to-day basis. So I am not facing off against people with an advantage. Everyone whom I'm currently interacting with has the exact same thing. So the rising tide raised all ships, we're all around the same. Now it comes to the most important thing I believe in any game, skill. Who has the most skill? Who knows the answer? I don't think it's wrong. You go into Guardians now? Gotcha. I don't think it's wrong to work on the defenders. I don't. I just don't think it's the answer that a lot of people have been claiming it has been. I've been telling people for many months, it's time. Stop worrying about the defenders. Just go straight into the Guardians. You don't need to worry. And as a matter of fact, the more people that are working on the defenders, it becomes way easier because all you have to do is be able to defeat the defenders, and it's not that hard with the options. You're right, Snoop, you were first. For example, Spider Miles, hands down one of the best characters to beat the defenders. Ignoring Minerva and Hela, you can do plenty of work with the characters you've been farming and the shield minions. The shield minions are adequate for up to U5, easily. Up to U5, no question. And they can beat the defenders. You can even swap out, like, shield operative for Miles because you probably don't need that minuscule heal. If you don't have to convince them you're not playing their accounts. No, that's true. But I do want people to understand the truth of the game. You will be only as good as you play. So far, you can see where I am, right? I am level 57. I'm getting a pretty decent chunk of value out of joining and competing in raids. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with Alpha 2, mainly because I'm just not quite here yet. That is a limitation of time, but as far as the Ultimus 5 and 6 go, I can make dents in them, no problems. I'm getting a pretty good chunk of raid. Now, that a lot of that comes from being in an alliance that's competent and completing their tasks. Even though we may be a little imbalanced, we are doing a great job overall. There we go. Obviously, I'm trying my best to make sure I buy Mantis Shards specifically now. I still open orbs, but I try to make it 1-in-1. So the way I've been playing it now, because I've been relatively unlucky with Blitz Orbs, is I go into the store. If Mantis has been purchased and I have credits left over, I buy an orb. If she has not been purchased, I wait till I can. 1 second. I unlocked Nick Fury last night. 5 red stars, 1300 powers, level 45. Any tips? Yes. You don't want to overinvest in Nick Fury early. He's not the damage dealer of the team. He's a support character and a healer. So you want to work in the holy trinity of the shield team, at least for an offensive team, which is shield medic, Nick Fury, and shield security. The other 2 shield characters, whomever they be, are basically just there to facilitate the progress of those characters. Medic is a phenomenal healer, as well as pretty decent attack with an offense down on basic. Nick Fury summons more dudes, which is always great. Also gives assists out, which is phenomenal for what that team's trying to do. And shield security is a murderer. He murders people. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So I don't know what, like, a lot of people are trying to figure out with only going into Blitz Orbs early. it's great. You do get good gold, but again, it makes more sense if you're starting with the defenders to exclusively farm orbs. So that's my idea, right? My idea is when people are starting with the defenders, they don't truly care about many of the characters in there, including Luke Cage, because you can get him from other places. So people are more inclined to open Blitz orbs. When you are specifically looking for Mantis and Gamora, and even Boomer maybe, I think it's more important that you lean on the characters you want. I don't know if that's true of everyone, but I know that now at the halfway mark, I've had to do some math, run some numbers, and determine that it is in my best interest to buy character shards where I can and open Blitz orbs as an aside. As for raid stuff, I kind of do the same thing. If a character I want in the raid store shows up, specifically Rocket, I buy them. If they don't, or if I can't afford to, I buy an orb. That's pretty much it. I don't... Mystic is good for Arena? Mystic who? Haven't been doing enough Blitz, I need to do a bit more. Yeah. It also really does... It really does explain a lot of the issues people are having with Blitz early. So let me show you. I'm at milestone 8 right now. I do not have a particularly strong roster, and I'm almost off cooldowns, right? 5 minutes? Excellent. So I'm going to show you basically what I've been doing. Now, I can use this top team. What's up, Ant? Anthony. I know I don't like to be called Ant, so... I'm going to go ahead and try to get one win out just to get to 6. I have to lose twice anyway, so I might as well get a couple of extra points. This team looks pretty meh. Yeah, let's try this one. Thanks, LBB. Appreciate it. Yeah, Isco, what do you mean Mystic? Oh, Mystique? No. Mystique's not pretty much... Mystique's pretty bad at everything, actually. She's a kit character. She's a team player. She's not a leader. Here's the problem with Mystique. Mystique herself doesn't do anything. Mystique's ultimate does a lot, and that's only if you get lucky, right? So there have been fights where I go up against a Mystique and she ults the character that I don't want her to, and it calls the strongest player on my team. What happens? You know, like, what happens next? I get beat. Are the Red Stars from Whale Wars helping out? No, of course not. No. Red Stars don't matter early, man. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Thank you. You prefer Tony? Alright, well, I'll call you Tony then. Hi, Foxy Moxie. How are you? Bye. No, don't kill Greg. You still playing my main account? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't quit that one. Trust me, I wasn't like, man, that $20,000 account, I don't need that anymore. Alright, so you'll see, I don't care so much about using charges. One thing you'll see in the earliest stages of Blitz, when you're under, I'm going to say 500,000 TCP, because at 1 million you could probably start blitzing relatively easily for milestones anyway. But under 500,000 TCP, you're going to find that Blitz charges, Blitz credits, they don't really mean anything to you. Like, this doesn't do anything. Second, I used to be an endgame player until I quit after Red Stars. Started a new account and going straight for Guardians and skipping Defenders. Should I invest in Miles and Venom or focus only Guardians of the Galaxy? Yes, well, great question. Actually, a phenomenal question, Assad. Thank you so much. The answer is don't treat them as one thing. Treat them as two things. You can farm characters and put gear into other characters. I personally think Miles and Venom are among the best characters for a new player, especially with Symbiote Spider-Man being an option. So yes, I think that working on Miles and Venom are absolutely great. early investments, especially when it comes to gear and gold. As for the Guardian characters, I don't think you really need to invest in too many of them. I think Gamora is an adequate damage dealer early game, but she gets outscaled relatively quickly by other characters. Mantis, you don't really need her. Healing is not that important in that stage of the game, so I wouldn't put too much in. Plus, she's a bio character. Trust me, we know bio gear is really hard to come by in the early game. Groot has a little bit of value, so you might want to invest a little in him. Obviously, it goes without saying, Rocket's a really good damage dealer, but not really reliable until after Star-Lord comes out. So, and Yondu is a phenomenal early villains character. He's good in the arena, works very well. Am I roommates with Sultanas? No, Matt's my roommate. Different sides of the country, Matt, yeah. So I do think Miles and Venom are worth putting gear and gold investment, where your energy investment, your farm investment, that's still going to go towards the Guardians. Hopefully that helped. Honu made a mistake as a bidding player farming defense. It's not a mistake. No. It is not a mistake. The Defenders are still a good team. They're just not better than what you get from unlocking Star-Lord as quickly as possible. No, John. You didn't make a mistake. That's the one thing I don't want people to hear. Like, I don't like the Defenders. It's a personal thing. Who would I suggest as a fifth of the Marauders? Merc Lieutenant. Merc Lieutenant or Merc Ryguard. Either of them. Yeah, I think you can easily farm the Guardians. Once you unlock the Defenders, just stop. Like, don't worry. Again, it's the same conversation. You can gear characters and farm shards. The only question becomes, how do you farm the gear, right? That's what most people are going to ask. Well, the answer is with your extra energy. If you've been doing what I've been telling you to do, no one has Symbiote Spider-Man right now. It's going to take another month or so before his milestones come back. So, Vision's a great character. That's the idea. If you, even now, like here, let me put it this way, very simply. If there was a $50 offer that unlocked all of the Defenders, or that gave you 50 shards of all of the Defenders, right? So, or, all of the Defenders. If it was like 50 Punisher, 50 Luke Cage, 50 Daredevil, 50 Iron Fist, and 50 JJ for any amount of money, any reasonable amount of money, I would not tell somebody, well, don't buy that. I would say, oh no, buy that, use those characters in the early game, but then you're spending that money you spent there saves you the necessary time that you need, so then you just move straight to farming Guardians while you have a team that you can work on. It's kind of a little balancing match, and it's hard because there's a lot of things pulling you in a lot of directions. So now, I got this fight. I'm at 6. I'm not confident in my team's abilities to win that much in 6, so we're gonna play a little bit of a game. We're gonna go into my save squads. Wait, did it disable the? No, it didn't. We're gonna start with this team. We're gonna go in. We're gonna intentionally lose twice, and there's at least twice. One, this team ain't winning. Look at how weak these guys are. They're not winning, right? I know that they're not winning. So I'm going to use them to reset the multiplier and get more favorable fights. What's my arena like? I'm holding top 500, which is where I need to be to make sure that I farm the correct amount of shards for Drax every day, which is, honestly, I'm a little bit over right now. The only difference is at top 500, you're guaranteed to buy one purchase of a character in the arena store every day. Every other day, you buy a second. So basically, I'll go it's 15 shards every 2 days, or, 2, 4, 6 times 5, 35 total shards a week, which, when you look at it like that, really strong. 35, well. No, it's actually way more, I'm sorry. I don't know where that math came from. It's 30, 60, 65. 65 shards a week, sorry. It's 65 shards a week, and that's a lot of shards, right? That's a reasonable... So I've gone so far now, and I'm so close to a 5-star Drax, that I actually have enough... I don't understand why some people say new players should ignore them. Why some people say new players should ignore them? I don't know if ignoring them, Defenders have carried me raids, top 100 in raids. CL Cubing, congratulations. I'm very happy with your experience, and I hope you continue to do well. That said, I will not have anyone entertain the notion that the Defenders are a better early game investment than the Guardians. There's no argument that can be made where that works. I'm currently doing multiple nodes. I'm going coast to coast in U5, and I'm doing 2 or 3 nodes in U6 without the defenders. Could I do better if I had them? Yes, but that's not going to matter because the second I unlock Star Ward in 45 to 50 days, anyone who went on defenders is not going to hold a candle to me. Not in Arena, not anywhere else. Yeah, we're not advocating for just ignoring the defenders. They're a great team. The most important part is, say you want to be a min-maxer, dude, you don't want to work on a team that doesn't work you another one. Dude, why'd you stop the day's incident graph? This is a YouTube stream, so it's a completely separate one. That's it. Work on the defense. I have the defenders, dude. They're a fine team. I haven't like worked on them. I accidentally unlocked them, and they're a fine team. They're not a terrible team. They're a great. I like to call them a Fisher Price or a Training Wheels team. You know what I mean? That's the point. They're a very introduce you to what the game is like, and they're gonna be good for a lot of people. But when you start with the defenders, this is a truth. This is a fact. When you start with the defenders, the people who skipped the defenders or ignored them somewhat and moved into the Guardians got that Star Wars in the first pass, whether they did it completely for free or by spending money. Anyone who didn't get Star Wars when they had the chance to, versus anyone who did, you just dropped an entire arena bracket. No amount of investment's gonna make that difference. No, none. James Story, a longtime listener, first-time questioner, agreed on the defenders. I have 400k. They are fun. They do not do the last gold challenge. It's separate, completely separate. I wish I fanned the first video. Would have saved myself a lot of hardship. Great videos. Happy you enjoyed them, Dragon. Yeah, this is not about bad. Like, I made a video about the top 10 worst characters in the game. A lot of people were like, "Where's Nebula?" As far as I know, Nebula's not in the game. So can someone show me how to get Minerva? First premium orb I opened. First premium orb I opened was a 50 drop Minerva. It was absolutely phenomenal. Doesn't really matter for the early game. She's not good. Like, you can't use her in the early game. Trust me. Trust me. She was the first character I brought to Gear Tier 9. Useless. Useless character. She's on my highest Blitz team. I don't even use her in arena fights, really. Because the damage, she does scaling damage, right? So 15% damage is not as much when it's like, when you're fighting characters that have 2,000 health, you know? It feels more when you're taking like 50,000 health off of 5 characters. But it's going to be great in the future. Yeah, I hear that. But so that's fair. But I'm also beating up defenders in arena. So someone just knocked me out after payout. Great. So let's see. My team is 62k. So I'm 62k right now, right? I don't know if I can beat this where this is, but let's see. This might be just too much of a punch up, right? Hey, it's Vash. This is weird. Loki is scary here. Let's try this. Let's see if I can beat this team. Oh, well, let's also be clear right now. The entire arena meta for anyone who's been playing right now is about to completely deviate. It's going to be a nightmare because now everyone has a Hela, everyone has a CM, and most players have a Thanos now. What are we going to do? The first person to unlock Loki, they're never losing a fight. They're punching up like 250k. I'm kidding, that's too much. But they're going to be punching up a lot. Oh, the bug is up. Cool. Alright, so. Let's punch her. Ooh. She's got a little bit more investment than I would like. Whew. This fight. This is a very big punch-up, but man. Just gotta work this Hela down as soon as I can. There's the death proof. Damn it. I think that's the end of the fight. I don't think I could win now. I think the fact that that Hela was so strong and I couldn't get her down earlier is really causing a problem. Evenings, Bets. How did you make so much progress in 6 weeks? How did I make so much progress in 6 weeks? I know what I'm doing. Like, I have the experience of 2 years of gameplay. How's the game compared to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? I enjoy them both, but for different reasons. This game is a little bit more friendly to free-to-play players in a personal growth perspective, but I believe they are equally terrible when it comes to the advantage people get from spending money. If Hela solos Loki... Follow because of the thing, how you liking that so far? I love Disney Sorcerer's Arena. I very much enjoy it. Well, turns out Hela's bullshit. Was it? How much was that punch up? Yeah, that was a 20k character. All of my characters are about 11k. I functionally had to punch up 2 such good focus AI. If those AI hit the Hela, they wouldn't have done damage. Those minions don't hurt. Filling off 7-star. Congrats. Yeah, like what? Like Hela shouldn't have been able to solo Loki, but because Loki's summons are pretty useless, especially early game, all they would do is do nothing to her, so that when Greg eventually ended up dying, he would heal her to full. Hela's really good. Yeah, that was functionally like a 20k punch up. Like this one, also another fight. I'll do that in 10 minutes. Just remember this, Legendary 27. Who should I go after next? You should build teams now, Shadow. You should work on Phoenix. Phoenix is probably the next one, the most important. Plus, as a result of working on Phoenix, if you can afford to farm Hela, you end up with 2 of the characters that you need to unlock Black Bolt anyway. Like Loki and Hela are both you can use to unlock both Black Bolt and Phoenix. That said, Hela's kind of hard to reach for some of the players, especially if you just can't beat the first 3 nodes in the villains part. They need a pretty good aim team. So I would say work on Phoenix now because it's more reliable and she'll give you more value immediately than the effort you're going to have to put into Black Bolt. Yeah. Need a 3rd star on the Hela node. I mean, if you could beat the Hela node, that's good enough. Not great. Oh, Magneto event? Look at that. Not for me, that's for sure. Although I do have enough characters, I believe, to unlock him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do have 5 characters at 2-star. That will use like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can do at least 2 fights in the Magneto event, which is going to give me a little bit of extra gold and resources. But I'm not going to single target farm any of the other characters, so good to know. It's always good to know like what tiny value you can extract when you miss something. And I'm not really working towards Magneto, so we lost that 1 fight, went down to 6. We're now going to lose another one. Sorry if I'm missing your chat, by the way. It's a little bit harder on the YouTube videos to keep up with chat, but I'll do my best. I thought I need to buy a Sif offer but I pulled 50 from a Mega. I can't get to the Hela node now because I built AIM, but I can't build AIM. AIM's great. I cannot stress. I just did a video of U6 to U7, teams that are like good in U6 and where the overlap is going into U7. And the truth is, there's a large overlap of AIM characters in U7. You can use not only Scientist Supreme, but Graviton in a lot of fights. So if you are able to work on Scientist Supreme and Graviton, the AIM team will be a phenomenal raid team in U6, and the overlap of 2 characters will also be very helpful. The Magneto event is so early, I was farming 6 stars and now I'm not going to get them. Sorry to hear that. What timestamp get? Oh, yeah. Nice timestamp. I think, like, you remember, Black Bolt was pushed back to, like, end of this month. So everyone's getting at least another week or 2. You get hit. Oh, I'm trying to lose this fight? Damn. So hard. It's so hard to intentionally lose fights when you're going to beat them in one shot. Grats, Joel. Joel, I have a question for you as a free-to-play player. Do you feel like you as a free-to-play player have consistently been able to get a legendary on the second pass? Hey, Chaz. Especially maybe the newer ones. Obviously, it might be a couple passes before you get Phoenix, you know? It's where you're focusing on. A lot of people have a misconception of gaming, specifically mobile gaming, because mobile gaming is a nightmare. For a guy whose like YouTube content is exclusively about mobile games, you would think like I'd be like, it's great and everything's great. Like, no, this is a minefield of nightmares. Like, trust me, I get it. Black Bolt is the only legendary to get 7 pass. Let me say I'm free to play with an asterisk. I only spend on some characters. Okay. So what we're gonna call you, just for the conversation, is we're gonna call you like spending a verse. You know what I mean? Like I have a thing about the word free to play because I have a lot of friends who are like hardcore to the door free to play, but it doesn't like. Remember when they had that offer? I don't know if anyone knew. They used to have an offer. It was like $1.99 for like 5 gold orbs and stuff. Yeah. If that's what broke your not spending, like, trust me, I understand the difference. You know, Big Roy Awesome is he always says like a 99.9% free to play, and I think that's less hilarious than saying the truth. He's like, I spent $24.99. Like, his account's great. Imagine selling that account instead of being like 99.9% free to play. It was just like $24.99 account in Dark Dimension 3, and you're like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I bought this. This is how much money I spent in the game. Like, it's hilarious. I do feel legendaries should be really hard. I have an opinion on legendaries. I think that the first pass of legendaries should always be gated behind an amount of spending. The first degree. And a reason why is, as a player who spends money, you do want to feel like you received growth, like, because of money you've given. Now, what I like the most about it, the worst legendary ever was Magneto. The advantage people got from the day Magneto came out to his second pass 3 months later, they dominated the arena. But then it became more and more competitive, not because people got stronger, because, you know, everyone gets stronger at roughly the same rate. It's because now a whole bunch of people had their own Magnetos, and it created a new wave. And that's something I've always appreciated, because, like, there's no reason to buy a character if it doesn't make you better, right? Like, if it doesn't improve you and your ability to play the game, why are you spending money on it? So I was always okay with the idea of a legendary on first pass being pretty gated behind either really hard work, which is unrealistic now because no one's blitzing that isn't already rich, you know? So I don't mind the first pass, but I do believe that I already have a problem. I think that a character should become farmable 30 to 40 days after their event ends. So if their event is 2 blitzes, if it's a campaign event, if it's a milestone, I think it's 1 or 2 months after that event, the character should become farmable. And if you kind of keep track of that, that means that you have the initial offering of the character, And then there's a month to a month and a half of time where you just can't work on that character anymore. And then a month to a month and a half of time between the next event, you can shift your gears and focus farm that character if you want the legendary. That's something that makes sense to me as a gamer, and I think it makes sense to a lot of people, but I do think there's a very large constituency of players in the game that are very, very like, me. I can't, so I don't. I'm not saying that's everybody. Hey, Robin. I'm not saying that's everybody, and I don't, you know, obviously I'm never going to go out of my way to say something like, we don't need more gold. Josh. What should a new account be using War Store currency on? Honestly, dude, I don't have the answer for you. Do you know why? Because I don't spend mine. I can tell you this. Seriously. And I mean this bottom of my heart. Don't buy blue gear in the War Store. That currency is way too scarce. I don't think there's any characters that are important. So, like, if you want to hedge and buy Sif, go for it. But I do find that buying gear out of the War Store occasionally does help. So I'll show you my war currencies right now, and you'll have an idea of like what I'm doing with them. I don't spend it that much. It's mostly because right now I'm still in the phase where most of my characters need blue gear, and only very few need purple gear, and even then not that much because I'm only level 56, so I can't, or 57, so I can't immediately take characters to 60, you know. But yeah, war currency, it doesn't expire. You know what I mean? It ain't going bad. I'll be forming pyro from the War Store. That's totally reasonable. I don't think there's a problem with that. Maybe back in the day I would have had a problem with it, but like for me, I like to buy gear out of the War Store. Just personal opinion. It's a long-winded saying purple spiky balls. Purple spiky balls. I'm early game and I bought only Carnage, but that's not optimal at all. Oh, I love Carnage. You don't have to talk to me about optimal, bro. I love Carnage. He's fun. Symbiote Spider-Man's fun. I love Sinister. I don't think he's God tier, but I love Sinister. Let me open the stores. So here, no joke, I do occasionally just pick up like 1 star on a character. I'm not... Uh-oh. If this is in stores of 4, that means I already have a 3, so I'm not really panicking about it. But I'll buy a star on a character if I see it in here. Now that we have an intake of these, like, totally worth it. Oh, like, here. So here's how many credits I have. Occasionally I'll buy maybe, like, I need some arcane powders to work on Hela or something. I haven't really... I think I bought one time I bought Sif, but I pulled her out of a premium. Graviton is 100, man. That's a nightmare. I don't think... And obviously, I'm not even going to buy Carnage. I'm just going to unlock him as it goes, because I don't need him for anything. I don't need him for anything. So, like, I have a lot of currency. Same thing with orbs. Why am I not opening orbs yet? Mainly because I don't have to. I don't really have... like, you know what I mean? I'm working on so few things right now. This is a bio character. I'm not putting any more gear in him. This is a bio character. I'm not putting any more gear in him right now. Mystic character. He's getting gear. So it stands to reason that I can work a little bit on him. All the stuff that I could have, it's dangerous. That's how they get you. That's how gacha games work. They're called gacha games. You know what gacha means, right, guys? Gacha are the games in Japan. You see them at the grocery store. You put a quarter in, you spin the die, and you get something weird. Sometimes it's candy, and sometimes you're like, ooh, which sticker did I get? You know, and it's a random sticker. It's not the one you wanted, or maybe it is. That's what gacha is. And the trap is, haha, gotcha. Like, you feel like it could be anything, even a boat. You know how much we want one of those, but it's not anything. It's nothing. It's never anything. The number of times you've opened an orb that was awesome compared to the number of times you've opened orbs that weren't, doesn't matter how awesome the awesome one was. You know? So, that's why I have a problem with RNG. I don't mind RNG on free stuff. You know what I mean? I don't mind RNG on orbs that no one can buy, if that made sense. I wouldn't mind RNG on red star orbs if they were unpurchasable. Seriously. If you could never buy a red star orb, if you only got them through gameplay, and they were just still random, I'd be like, yep, totally fine, great. A lot of people have another misconception that think that RNG helps free-to-play players, and they're also wrong. It doesn't help a free-to-play player. It doesn't help a low spender if I can purchase that. Because right now, my main roster is 5.6 million, maybe, something like that. And the only difference between my roster and someone who has a higher roster than me, most often than not, is high red stars. I have 100 characters at 7-star. The only characters I don't have at 7-star are characters I haven't spent the gold to invest in, or characters that have come out in the last, like, 2 months that, unless I whaled out for, I wouldn't, like, I'm not going to get them to 7-star. Like Red Skull. I don't have a 7-star Red Skull. I don't have a 7-star Proxima, you know? So, like, there are people who do. Great. They spent more money. They got a character. That's fine. My thing's 7 red. My read is 6. Not 7 red, 7-star. My read is 6. Like, the only difference between most of our rosters, not even investment, really, because most of my characters are at least gear tier 11 or 12. I have 20-something gear tier 13s. I have enough gear to bring multiple characters to 14. I'm just waiting a little. And the idea of like, the separation of power is all red stars right now. I have someone who has a roster that's equal to me, but nowhere near as dense. He'll have maybe, I'm not going to mention his name, but I talk to him all the time, and he has maybe 1 or 2 characters, 1 or 2 teams that are like 350k, and then he has characters that are like 80k, but they're not good characters, you know? Like imagine you pulled a 7 red star Nebula, and then you invested in her. First of all, she's not even in the game, so how would you do that? And second of all, like, is that improving your roster, having 100k Nebula? Is that helping you? Before anyone says war defense, no, it's not. You know it's not. If a 7 red star Nebula is helping you in war defense, you're not fighting in wars where that matters. As someone I played a lot of Eastern gacha games, RNG benefits the whales 100%. Yeah, RNG benefits people who are willing to spend more money. It's a fact. And a lot of people don't like to be told things that challenge their worldview. I don't know how to tell them. I'm sorry. I can tell you in all certainty, there were a couple of offers that showed up recently. The fact that I'm not buying this is because I've dedicated this as a free-to-play run. If you ever want me to do a run where I just buy stuff that's good and watch me be great for, like, if you want to do, like, the next one of these I do, if I do want to keep doing Logic and Reason, the next one of these I want to do is one where it's like, you give me a limit of how much I'm allowed to spend a month. It doesn't have to be a month. It'd be $20. Could be, hey, sure. Could be like $50. Obviously, don't give me $100 a month, because then, like, why bother? But you can give me a limit of how much money I could spend a month, and we'll just see what I do and what I can do. You know, some months I might end up only buying cores. You can't bank it. We'll figure something out. That's for another run. I want to finish this one first, because once this one's in the book, and I can now, anytime someone's like, no, don't work on Guardians first, and then I could show, like, 90 days into the game here, 180 days into the game, I'm finishing Dark Dimension 1. 2 weeks after that, I've unlocked Ultron. How'd you do that? Like, well, I single target focused on characters that mattered, and now all of the things that were challenging are no longer challenging for me. I see some beginners that try to focus their roster for Arena. It's the same thing as a free-to-play. You won't be able to keep up with spending. No, that's true. It's about specific goal, Magic One. So someone just said, I see some beginners that try to focus their roster for Arena. It's the same thing. What's the goal of this progression? Like, when does it end? What do you mean? My account progression, or the generic concept of progression in Marvel Strike Force? I've been playing the specific account, Unlock Ultron, in under 10 months as a free-to-play player. Yeah, finish the point. Like, Unlock Ultron in under 10 months as a free-to-play player. Oh, this is the halfway mark of the Star-Lord event. That's what this is. I'm halfway to the first Star-Lord event, Lotion. Because I started on the previous Star-Lord event. So, 90 days, you know, this is week 6. Technically, it's not 90 days. It's 3 months or so. There's 4 times 3, 12. I'm at week 6. About halfway. Now again, they could technically push him back, right? If they push Star-Lord back, that gives me more time. But if at the end of 90 days, all my characters are where, you think you'll still get a 6 Star-Lord? Nah, probably not. 6 Star-Lord was like my reach goal, right? I know you can get a 6 Star-Lord in 5 months. I know that because multiple people have done it. Multiple like free-to-play players have done it. Now I sit comfortably around 1600 arena. All right, I'm gonna read this out loud. Chef Kyoger, I actually started a second account starring Defenders back when they were the go-to because the main account I went Guardians. But now I'm sitting comfortably at 1600 in arena. Yeah, that's what happens with the Defenders. It's not that they're not good at independent stuff. Another thing that people kind of separate is independent growth versus team growth, right? Did you start when the new group for being new? I started the day after. So as a result of that, I'm going to farm Groot until I'm about 100 shards over. To show that, like, it didn't matter. So I haven't been playing for 10 months and already... A Rescue Panda, are you free to play? Are you completely free to play for Rescue Panda? That's awesome. Oh, cool. Where did you go into Dark Dimension 3? Well, not in Dark Dimension 3. It's like unlocking Ultron. Because technically it's easy to get into Dark Dimension 3, right? Beat Dark Dimension 2 and then pick 5 idiots. But like, are you, like, how close are you? 3 days into the game? You can do whatever you'd like, Lotion. I don't believe you need to work on Defenders. What team am I looking to Gear 13 for Ultron? Me specifically, it's going to be Star-Lord, Invisible Woman, Minerva, and then 2 other characters. I haven't decided. Probably Groot. Probably Groot, and then it depends on who else builds up my roster. I'd probably take a different character type. If I could, maybe a skill character. That I haven't decided yet. 1.3 million started. 1.3 million collection power. I started it last week. Nice. Any suggestion the Ms. Marvel node in Dark Dimension 1? I'm stuck there. Don't kill Groot first. There's actually on my Discord, there's a Dark Dimension, like Dark Dimension 1 and 2 struggle guide. But yeah, the Ms. Marvel node, technically you gotta kill Scarlet Witch first, I believe, but man, it's hard. I actually glad that I still have that account though, because the recent calendars I have Thanos, Minerva, yeah, right? Mid-game BKT, that's dope. So yeah. Can I link in YouTube chat? I could pull up the guide. Yeah, you can link, Tim. I've given up on 2K for this Blitz. I've completely given up on 2K for this Blitz. I have all the legendaries like Apple and Phoenix. Nice. I'm a free-to-play player. I'm thinking of spending some money. Cool. If you do, there's no right or wrong answer on what to spend money on, except Red Stars. Don't buy those. Killed the first Scarlet Witch. I'm now stuck on the second one. Oof. Alright, now take down Ms. Marvel. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is 2 Ms. Marvels are up. That's the absolute worst thing that can happen. I guess I'll do a quick little roster tour. So, yeah, I'm still farming Ravager Bruiser as the you know, like the panic button. Would Hela be good for that DD2 lineup? Yeah, sure. Hela's great. Who are you bringing up for Tier 14 first for Dark Dimension 3? On this account? This account's not getting to Dark Dimension 3. I mean, it might. I'm giving it away when I'm done with it. Someone else can have it. New player, how do I learn what teams are the best and what I should do? Oh, man, that's a lot. There are some good content creators out there. You can find some really good information from people like Mobile Gamer, Casino, and Valley Flyin'. There's also a lot of information on Discords. Oh, got you. Okay, Scott, I'll give that in a sec. So that's a really good thing. I'm doing a current free-to-play run. I also am a little bit of a content creator myself. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. But there is a lot of information. I would say, I do say all the time, I think that Casino's information is among the most valuable asset in the game. It's his opinions that I tend to deviate from. But You know, they say opinions are like assholes, and I'm a giant one. What are some characters that are worth getting to tier 12 and 13 from the beginning of the game? 13, 0. You should only bring a character... Now the game is evolved. You should only bring a character to 13 that you intend on bringing to 14. That's it. 12? 12 is purple gear. Purple gear is going to be a problem right up until it's not anymore. Like, my main account, just purple gear? Like, yeah, whatever. I took Red Skull from 0 to 65 gear tier 10 in, like, 30 seconds. Easy. No spending. I haven't spent money on my main account in... months? My other account, so I'm technically bringing in Phoenix because I'm supposed to, but, God, I have an entire thing on my Discord of it. Basically, on the main account for Dark Dimension 3, what I'm looking at is global is Sinister, Sabretooth, Phoenix, Sinister, Sabretooth, Phoenix, Shuri? I haven't decided between Shuri and Scientist Supreme, but I'm pretty leaning on Shuri. I don't think Scientist Supreme's buff flip's going to matter too much when I've seen the fights. And then not Ultron. Like, specifically not Ultron. The other thing... Oh, Cosmic is like Black Bolt, Hela, Invisible Woman, Star-Lord, and I don't know who the fifth is. Maybe Minerva. I haven't thought that one through yet. And then City is just Symbiote Spider-Man, Ms. Marvel, and like one character. People are beating it with three characters, so like I'm not worried. Phoenix is a requirement for Dark Dimension 3. Phoenix dies and then takes 15% of the health, and then they dirtle around for 10 minutes while the rest of their characters die. And then they spend cores to refresh Phoenix and repeat the process, allowing Phoenix to take 15% of health off of everybody. If that's an engaging game mode for people, like, that's cool. I'm happy I'm not involved. Like, I can easily go into Dark Dimension right now. I have all of the gear. I've been waiting to see if something changes. Like, if Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive combo end up being a really good. If someone figures out something that no one else sees. But, like, I'm not going to be the guy bringing Shield Trooper and Medic into a game mode. Like, don't care how cheap they are. It doesn't matter. And if they if Foxnex design an entire game mode around using one character, then they're just bad at development. So, like... Hey, Tony, what do you think about DD2 without Minerva? I think it's possible. I think it's incredibly possible. But it's like saying, what do you think of the Brotherhood without Magneto? Like, it'll probably do something, but you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting anyone but yourself. Also, rushing into Dark Dimension 2 is not the same thing as completing Dark Dimension 2. You know? And you want to complete Dark Dimension 2. So why not take the best options? There are people who've done it with other characters. There are enough characters now that it's doable. Who's the best healer in the game? Like, the best at the job of healing? Probably a toss-up between Minerva and Shuri. Hey, Fleabag. How many tiers are you getting in Blitz with this account? Not many. I can get up to 7, but then I just reset because I'd rather win fights than struggle. Plan on using a full Spider-Verse? Oh yeah, that's also totally possible. Actually, you don't even need to use a full Spider-Verse. You could just use 3 Spider-Verse characters and like Scientist Supreme or something. Like, I don't like Spider-Man. You can't do much when Strife, who can kill 3 people on their first attack for him. Yeah. Mordo, Loki, Hela combo for Cosmic. I don't like Loki. I've said that. I also think that I'm going to say something that's probably going to be very unpopular, so please don't take this personally. If you're going to bring Sif into the Cosmic node of Dark Dimension 3, you might as well just not even bring a character. And not waste the gear. Because while you're going to make an argument about skill gear, great. Excellent. Besides the fact that Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive are both skill characters and way better investments than Sif under every circumstance, Sif doesn't do anything. She's going to die, she's going to be useless, and you've wasted all of the catalyst parts bringing a garbage character to gear tier 14. Please do not bring Sif into Dark Dimension. You in... Am I in someone else's stream? No. I'm streaming. Well, the stream's almost over. I think I've gotten through a lot of the core of what's going on, right? I've progressed to the point where, guess what? The paradigm has shifted. We are now going into Captain Marvel and Spider-Miles. Hela, that's 3. Probably, like, Groot is number 4. And if I do happen to unlock Loki... Where's my Loki? 29. If I do happen to unlock Loki, that's it. Because, if you didn't know, if you have Loki and Captain Marvel, you basically can't lose an arena. You can lose defensively, but you will go in and win every fight. Because no combo in the game is as disruptive as turn 1 kill a character. And it always happens with CM and Loki. Hey, quick question. I'm a newer player, and I have the Guardians and Yondu at 5-star. Should I go for a 6-star Star Lord and farming Sinister 6? Bachelors in BS. Great question. Loki's faster than CM? Yep. Well, yes. At, ability. How do you get the CM calendar? You logged in for the last week. I don't like Cyclops for Dark Dimension 3. Cyclops has notoriously low hit points, and Dark Dimension 3 is one-shotting everything anyway, so he's never going to have a turn. 6-star is probably the best because you need 6 stars. No, that's actually not what I was going to say, Tim. But yeah, that's true. Yes, if you could go to 6-star, that's great. However, run the numbers, dude. It's very... when you look at what it takes to get to 5-star, it's a lot. It's 310 character shards times 5. But... So 310 character shards times 5 is 1,550 total character shards to get that many characters to 5-star. To get those same characters to 6-star, it's 200 times 5. It's an extra 1,000 character shards. In that time, you could probably work on different characters. Now, at this point, you definitely have Rocket, right? But if you can't bring Rocket into Dark Dimension 3, you can't bring anyone into Dark Dimension 3. So I don't think it's important to hardcore rush a 6-star Star-Lord that much. Like, it's important, but not that important. Because you still want to work on characters like Shuri and Invisible Woman. So if you're at 5 here, I would say the characters that are in stores, keep ripping open those Blitz Orbs as you have been or whatever. But I would be working on the Sinister 6 the second I was done with the Guardians, just to make sure that I could either get Shuri or Invisible Woman as fast as possible. I'm free to play, so I'm not coring out, only reviving Phoenix once a day. I'm 4 weeks in and only at Node 4 because I still have 4 tier 14 characters. Hi, Marcos. How are you? So the next week, right? Here's what we've done. Groot and Drax is done. Like, we're done. We're going to start buying character shards for... We're going to start doing a split buy now. Basically, I'm going to buy a Drax shard and a Vulture shard, and a Drax shard and a Vulture shard, and then 2 Vulture shards and a Drax shard. Because I know I'm not going to have to worry about it. Do I do this on YouTube? Because either record the session? Yeah, because it makes a video immediately. Drax is done. So that opens up the arena credit store. So I'm done with the arena for now. Yondu is going to be kind of a pain, but like I am farming him every day. No problem. So Father John. Groot is... I'm a little bit ahead on Groot from the 100 shards, right? So under normal circumstances, I would have a 3-star Groot right now. He would be roughly around the same as Yondu. But I'm still farming him every day. I am still farming Ravager Bruiser. This, 1, 2, 3, represents the end of single target character farms I'm doing. I'm not farming characters except 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Occasionally, I will buy a Sinister 6 character. Oh, farm, not buy. Sorry. No, I'll buy him in the store. Which is why these guys are all 2-star right now. Unfortunately, I don't have Vulture and Mysterio. By the time I end up getting Mysterio, it's likely that everyone else is 3-star. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a Invisible Woman on her first pass, so I might have to look to getting a 5-star Invisible Woman when I get a 6-star Star-Lord. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this represents the character energy farm shard. All of my extra energy for the day goes to gearing up characters. I don't need to gear these characters up anymore, so now I'm gearing up the highest impact characters I have, which is Hela. Now it's CM. Thank you. Probably Miles. So that's 1, 2, 3. I would gear up Ms. Marvel. I would. But I can't farm her right now. Like, I haven't reached that part of the Cosmic campaign. Actually, I probably could progress. Oh, no, Mystic? No, I definitely can't. Do you buy the character orb from the Rave store? I buy character orbs. I buy character orbs when a character I want is not present in the store. So if I want Rocket and he's there, I buy him. And if he's not, and I go into the store, and I buy an orb. Mantis is still being farmed in the... Mantis is my primary farm in the store. One reason why is I don't need to lean on the strength, early game strength of character like Gamora. And the math on Gamora is just not holding up. I actually think I have... Yeah, I have more Rocket shards than Gamora shards. And I've done nothing but open, like, 2 or 3 Blitz orbs a day for the last... Like, I just am not getting her. You could see, it was actually kind of ridiculous how deep the spread has been. So, like, I'm not even bothering with Gamora. I'm just treating her like a non-starter. Did you already discuss the Blitz orbs being oversaturated? Yes. Yeah. There's... I'm not... I mentioned to everybody, and I'll mention it again. I think that if you start with the Defenders team, it makes sense to open Blitz orbs because you're not looking for anything from those orbs. You're just taking them. You're getting the gold and free character shards. If you're trying to go the Guardians, Blitz orb, instead of the reverse. So if you go with the Defenders first, anything you get from a Blitz orb is... If you start with the Guardians, Blitz orbs are actually, instead of a, 3 out of 12 chance of getting something you want, you now have a... Instead of a 3 out of 12 chance of getting something good, it's the reverse. It's a 9 out of 12 chance of being screwed out of character shards that you need. So I don't think there's it. Luke Cage is there? Yeah, but like you're not farming Luke Cage. No one's farming Luke Cage in the Blitz store, right? Like, I'm okay with starting with the Guardians. I'm okay with working on the Guardians, but we are not farming Luke Cage in the Blitz store, right? We are not that desperate. Did you get Thanos? And where's your Mantis? My Thanos is here. My Mantis is here, and my Thanos is here, where he belongs, because Thanos is completely useless in the early game. Think you redo my Blitz after you're done with the stream? Yeah. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to go live. Oh, I am going live on Twitch after this. I'm going to be playing Apex Legends with a couple friends, so feel free to jump by. So you're saying if you're going for Guardians first, don't buy just orbs and focus on Mantis? No, I never said that at all. That's a crazy thing to talk. That's crazy, sir. I never said that. No. I'm saying that Blitz orbs are good, but it's not better than picking up a Mantis. So what I would do is buy specifically Mantis, and then whenever Mantis is not able to be purchased, open Blitz orbs. Yeah. Yeah. Like, so if you have 1,000 Blitz credits, you'd buy Mantis with 500, and you'd open a Blitz orb. And then the next time around, if you Blitz again and Mantis is still on cooldown, just open a Blitz orb. You're still getting the value of the gold in the Blitz orbs, but... And let's be clear, I don't know if you guys know this. The gold... I have played this game for 6 weeks. This account. I have 3.56 million gold. I have not yet, ever, opened a gold orb. No, I don't think that. That's right. Who's your favorite character that I would want? Thanos is absolutely useless in the early game. Like, actually unplayable in the early game. Can't do anything. Here, let me go beat up another cat. Let me beat up somebody who has a Thanos. Yeah, here. Right? This is a 20k Thanos. This is gonna be the last thing I do. How and where do you farm Star-Lord? Guardians for Star-Lord and Asgardians? I'm not going to give you information about farming the Asgardians because I don't believe anyone needs to worry about it. If you're worried about unlocking Star-Lord, you should not be worried about farming the Asgardians. Unlocking Black Bolt doesn't matter. In the same way that prior to this, a lot of, like, when Invisible Woman came out, everyone made a video saying, farm the Sinister Six first. Oh, geez, guys. No, they're not good enough. You still need a good team. Do not worry about unlocking Black Bolt. Let's fuck up Hela again. Get orbs in the game. I have 80 promotion credits. Should I buy a bunch of 3 red stars or 1 or 2 4 red stars? Red stars don't mean anything. Like, you can't just say red stars. Like, on whom? Because I would never, under any circumstances, buy a 2 red star, like, Kingpin, you know? But if you're talking about, like, Star-Lord going to 4, well, that's way back. Like, a Star-Lord going from 3 to 4 is worth way more than, like, Spider-Man going from 2 to 3. You know, like, different. They mean different things. You're pointing? Look up. Tony just asking, I'm new to the game. No, I got you, man. That's why. No, that's why I'm saying it. That wasn't mad at you. I was just like, dude, if anyone told you to farm the Asgardians, fight them for me. You have my permission to punch them in the face. Am I gonna do raids? I can't do any of the raids in this. In this, I've done all my raid fights. I've done as much as I can in raids, I think is the best way of saying. We are currently doing a U6. I can only do like 1 or 2 nodes in that. I'm not that strong. But I'm also like 200k TCP. I do 1 or 2, a bunch of people do 1 or 2, and then one guy does like 3. We get to 30%. It's pretty good. Get all the value. Who's been doing Heimdall? Who? This is beautiful. You know what? You know what, guys? Anytime. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate this, but I'm not popular enough in Marvel Strike Force that this is going to carry. So anytime you hear a content creator tell people to farm the Asgardians in the early game, do not correct them. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to fight Heimdall over and over again. He is completely useless. I will kill a Hulk before it. Why is Thanos bad in the early game? He does nothing. When are you switching to Twitch, Tony? I'm almost done with this, and then I'm gonna be taking a quick smoke break, and then I'm gonna reach out to a couple of friends, see if they're ready, and then we're gonna learn how to play Apex Legends live. Because I don't. How much was this punch up? Does anyone remember? Oh, the style. The style. The style. Shoot them before you shoot you. I mean, I'm watching. Punch up was like 20 or 30k. 20k punch up? Thank you guys. Yeah. Now, follow-up question. What did Minerva do for that fight? Besides resurrect the character after the fight was over. What did Minerva do? The heal was pretty useful. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Because this guy's got a really strong Deadpool. And I have a Greg. Minerva doesn't work at all in the early game. Yep, someone's not watching my content. It sucks, right? And that's true, it does suck. Because, like, you get a character that people tell you are good, in your brain parts, you're gonna be like, oh, geez, I should invest in this character. In another game I'm playing, DSA, someone put out a tier list. I'm a little afraid of who he's gonna clone. I'm a little afraid of who he's gonna clone. I'm a little afraid. I just want to see. Who did I kill? Oh no! Oh no! It was the worst possible. It didn't matter. You can't beat 2 Gregs, they're too powerful. I just want to see if this Deadpool will hit Groot or Greg. Oh, it was Yondu? Damn it, alright. There's no way you should have been able to beat 2 Gregs? Oh, I'm hacking, clearly. That was worth 25 charges. It's not like I use them on anything else. So, what do we... One day I might just spend 100 charges fighting all the way up to, like, top 200. Because... Like, yes, Hela should be here, but, like, come on. You can't just put nothing around. You can't just be like, Hela, she'll carry the team. Like, she won't. Although it is comforting to see a whole bunch of Defenders teams at like, purple circles getting beaten up all the time. Loving this free-to-play series. Enjoy Apex. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As we did discuss next week's video, hopefully we're going to have a lot more progress on specific characters like Mantis. And the Blitz, of course, is going to be its own nightmare as we progress. Obviously... I'm doing well enough. I feel very strong. That's something that I think a lot of people don't experience a lot. Like, I feel, and this is someone with a full-powered roster on my main account, I feel like there's not much content I can't deal with right now, and because of that, I'm very confident continuously telling people, you don't need the Defenders. This is totally fine. You will continue to succeed. As long as your goals are reasonable, and as long as you focus on your goals, you will find new ways. So, have a good night, everybody. Have a great day. Stop by my twitch.tv/Tony Scungili any weekday at 10 o'clock or so. I'll be streaming Eastern. And YouTube. Follow me, like, comment, subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force, Disney Sorcerer's Arena content. Take it easy, everybody.